just taking part in the different classes and like having the opportunity to learn every day.
Mac was a surprise for us when he was born. We had no idea that he had any type of disabilities. Mac has what's called Nagger Syndrome. It's a very rare syndrome. When he was born 17 years ago, almost 18 now, his birthday's at the end of the month, there were only 6 others in Canada with similar syndromes and 80 known cases worldwide. Mac's kind of a combination of physical disabilities and intellectual disabilities. A lot of issues, but Mac's overcome most of them.
I like science because it's interesting. You learn about different types of stuff. I want to go to college. Something with electronics or computers. But if I can't go to college, I'm coming back to high school next year.
I'm Natasha Taylor. I'm with Learning Services at Monsignor McCoy High School, and my role is to support all students with diverse needs. To me, inclusive education means being a member, being a valuable member of the school community in every aspect. In our school, I think it's important to keep into consideration the social needs, the academic needs, the extracurricular needs, and I see it kind of as that ongoing conversation with families, with teachers, with staff, and with the students as to what's the best way that we can support them to have that meaningful experience in school, and that they're prepared and ready for life beyond high school to keep making those contributions towards society. If we look specifically at Mac, I feel very fortunate and blessed that he's a member of our school community because he brings so many amazing gifts, and it's important that we see that as a school community, the gifts that each student has. And for Mac, we look at his academic ability, and so within that, we looked, how can we make this work? We met with his family, we met with the teachers, and some of the things that we do on an academic level, he's provided with a learning assistant. We have a class called Learning Strategies, and that Learning Strategies class is an intervention class that kind of targets skills that perhaps are lagging, and then we focus on those skills to make them more successful within the general ed classroom.
It's really important for reading comprehension to look at the pre-reading strategies. So Learning Strategies is a program that we're implementing at McCoy to help those students who are very capable but just seem to be lacking a few tools in their toolbox, as it were. Some strategies, maybe test-taking strategies, organizational issues, but the big one that we find is reading comprehension. So in order to do that, you have to set a purpose. So create a question. So we've already gone through, we've looked There's an incredible strategy that I learned through a Dr. Barbara Aaron, through an ARI course, an Advancing Adolescent Reading Initiative course that I took, and it's called Structure Your Reading. And essentially, each letter, it's an acronym obviously, and so each letter represents a strategy. And there is divided into 3. We have pre-reading, things that we do before students start to read, and then we have a series of activities, strategies that they can employ while reading, and then ultimately looking back, post-reading kinds of strategies they can do. Because ultimately what you want them to do is independently take a piece of text and go skim, scan, go, okay. What's my purpose for reading? What do I already know about this topic? Okay, now as I'm reading through, let's see, am I understanding this? Can I paraphrase this? Am I not understanding this? Is an area of confusion? That kind of thing. And then after, look back and go, what is my personal response to this? Like, how does this affect me? So what, right? I ultimately want the students to come away saying, well, so what? How is this useful to me as a learner? Like diving boards?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With you on that one.
If we look at a social level, MAC is part of our Learning Center, and our Learning Center is just a kind of a catch-all for any student that needs a little extra support. So for MAC, it's also a little bit of an opportunity to build relationships and connect with students. As well, we use it as a study hall. So not only are his academic needs being met there, but also his social needs. And then if we look at what makes Mac happy, well, being involved in sports would be what makes him happy. And so he's part of our track team as well. He was an assistant coach for our volleyball team. And so being part of that sports community is very much a part of Mac's school experience here at McCoy.
This year was my first year. I went 2 provincials and got 2 gold medals in both of my 200 and 100 events. My teammates were helpful, always encouraging me to keep going, never give up.
And then if we kind of fast forward into the future, we look at the work experience. So in the afternoons, Matt goes out with a job coach, and he's of course at a sports store, and he's developing some skills that kind of can help lead to the future employment after high school as well.
I think Mac is a neat success story, and I think one of the biggest things with the success of Mac is really some of these final successes that we're seeing this year are driven by Mac. So at the beginning, when he first came to the school, we did a lot of work around, he has an interest in sports. What can we do to facilitate that interest? So we got him involved in these things. But with the track part of it, Mac actually came to the school and said, this is what I want to do. And then we looked at how do we make that happen? So I think it's that movement towards his own empowerment, his own advocacy, because we did it first for him, and we've kind of moved it over slowly to him doing it for himself, which kind of positions him to really move forward beyond high school.